Hey guys, I'm here. Welcome back for episode 3 of season 1 of Daredevil Born Again. In the last episode, we saw a number of different things just start to kind of encroach upon Matt and Fisk's lives as they're both trying to do their best to distance themselves from the past that they had, the people that they used to be. But then these little hiccups, these little conflicts cause them to flirt with dipping their toes back into those old lives. With Fisk, he found that given everything he's trying to do as mayor, that there's inevitably given his past, going to be people that he's not going to be able to sway. But in order to make any kind of progress, he needs some of these people on board, namely the commissioner of the police force, who, upon his election, has tried to resign. But so what he does and blackmails him into staying on. Meanwhile, Matt is again trying to do his best to just kind of lawyer his way through this stuff, especially with Hector Ayala, which I found out in between recording sessions here that the actor that played him had passed away after recording. I don't know the situation surrounding, but all the same, my heart goes out to the family. It just makes me wonder where that character ended up by the end of this, and you know, if there was any kind of future plans or anything like that, because I've really been enjoying what I've seen of him in this so far, you know. But as he's trying to prove his innocence, he finds out where the person was that he saved that the cops were accosting. Then they are trying to kill him. And that's how Matt found out about it. He felt something was a little bit off. They needed to prove his innocence, so he started tailing one of the cops, and he overheard them talking about executing this kid. So he gets there before they do and helps him get away, and they start brutalizing Matt. During the whole scuffle, we find out at least one of them has the Punisher logo tattooed on his arm. And, you know, as they start to push Matt, they are about to execute even him. They played with the devil and they got burned because he immediately activated once his life was on the line and they didn't give him any quarter. And he fucked them up. That ending shot as he is letting out that Matt Murdock roar, that scream at the end after all of that rage, that fire, we cut to black, and that's where we're at. So let's get ready to hop in. If you want to see the full length reaction, as always, you can check it out over on Patreon, or if you're a member of the channel, get you access as well. It is a watch along format, so you will need your own footage to sync up the time codes for actually the entire episode. Over there, get the same thing for all the other shows and movies we cover on the channel. You also get to suggest and vote about movies you react to each month. This is a great way to support the channel, helps do the things we do over here. But at the end of the day, I really appreciate it. Enjoy this reaction. To least leave a like, drop a comment, subscribe if you're not already, because it really helps these videos out. With that all said and out of the way, let's go ahead and hop into episode 3. Here we go.
They bring you some food?
No. Luquillo is a beach near where I'm from in Puerto Rico. To me, it's the most beautiful place on earth. And the coqui, this little tree frog, it doesn't croak. It sings its name. It mates for life, right? So every sunset, thousands of these frogs start calling out to their one and only love. It's the music of the island.
You're gonna see that beach again, Hector. I promise.
I hope so.
And you'll be reunited with your family.
Yo, what's up? Be cool. Couldn't trouble you for the keys to this fine vehicle, could I? Thank you very much. And, wallets while you're at it. You too, Susan.
You know whose truck this is?
Are you a hard man, are you?
Yeah.
Silly wee bastard.
I was just thinking there was probably another guy at the other window, and lo and behold, yep.
Somebody invades my privacy. I have no problem taking my piece and putting it to their head. That's it.
Good God.
Good versus evil, evil versus evil, good versus good. Is New York gonna make it? No. You want answers from me? I don't have them. Sorry.
But I do have this pizza.
Last night there was a double homicide not half a mile from the port. Apparently a hijacking gone wrong.
They're misbehaving because there's no one at the head of the table. Without you or me there. They'll turn on each other.
Let them kill each other.
And when they're done with each other, whoever is left standing will come after you.
That world, that
kind of violence. Petty blood feuds.
So I thought part of the conversation was that she would continue to run things from the shadows, but I guess because of the public image, she's had to get pulled away from that, creating this vacuum. So that stability they had when he first got elected has already started to unravel. And I noticed that, but I forgot to even comment on it. We didn't see where that came from. Oh, that was a good transition from his knuckles to Matt's. But we didn't see him throw hands with anybody. And I saw somebody posit in our weekly live stream that they think he probably did, in fact, take care of the guy that she was seeing already.
I'm sorry, are you talking to me?
Oh, look who it is.
You know, Murdock, I bet Judge Cooper would be interested to hear that you're interfering with a police investigation.
Oh, I think you mean a shakedown. Witness tampering is a serious offense. Now, maybe you get lucky and the DA only slaps you with a misdemeanor. But I doubt it. I'll see you in court, officer.
That graffiti.
How long have you been with the NYPD, Officer Powell?
Just over 15 years.
Would you say it was unusual for an officer of your seniority to be working on New Year's Eve?
I volunteered. Well, a lot of the guys in my precinct, they got families, you know, kids, and mine are grown. Well, we were just finishing up a routine sweep. You know, places like a ghost town. The defendant, he just came out of nowhere. He had this wild look in his eyes, and when you're a cop long enough, you know what that look means, and he starts running towards us.
Did you tell the defendant to stop?
Yes, many times.
Don't react, Hector.
We yelled, we flashed our badges.
Trying to work him up.
Pushes him in front of the train. Like it was nothing.
Like it was nothing.
Objection, leading.
Sustained.
Me and Kel Shanahan, we were partners for 8 years. You know, that's 8 years of beers and kids and just
oh my
talking
God,
about how shitty the Knicks are.
fuck you.
Officer Powell, good morning. I'm told you have a black eye, and I hope everything is okay.
Don't worry about it.
You know, there's this thing they say in boxing, the best cure for a black eye is fast hands.
Objection.
Sustained. Come on, Mr. Murdock.
Officer Powell, just want to make sure I'm clear on something. You testified that before my client arrived at the station, the place was a ghost town, meaning you and your partner were alone on the platform. The language can be strange sometimes, so I just want to make sure we're saying the same thing here. By alone, you mean just the two of you, no one else?
That's right.
Which means there certainly wasn't a confidential informant you were roughing up.
Objection.
You better have a good faith basis for this, Mr. Murdock.
I do, Your Honor. You ever met a man named Nikki Torres?
God, I hope this doesn't go sideways.
Curious, because as I understand it, Nikki Torres is a confidential informant. Used to work with the NYPD. In fact, used to work with you and Officer Shanahan directly. Officer Powell, did you and Officer Shanahan have an arranged meeting with Nikki Torres on the platform that night?
Oh, he got real silent real quick.
I told you I don't know him.
Yeah.
Took him a while to respond, though.
Torres cannot testify.
Uh-oh. Oh, fuck. Yeah, they're gonna try to do whatever they can to make sure he doesn't make it to that courthouse.
Should I be worried?
Yep.
Hey, you promised I'd be safe.
We're fine if you stay out of sight. Come on, let's go.
I hope nothing happens to him on the way here, man. That would suck.
Looking at the doors isn't going to get them here any faster. I'll be here.
One hopes.
All rise. Supreme Court, State of New York, Part 20 is in session. The Honorable Fitzgerald Cooper presiding.
God damn it.
Mr. Murdock, call your witness.
Just another second, Your Honor.
Oh, you piece of shit.
Get out of the van, asshole. Open it.
Oh! Oh! How did they make that switch? Let's go.
They're here.
Oh, dude, my heart was about to leap out of my chest.
I told the cops I'd help them out sometimes.
And by help out, you mean become a confidential informant. Torres, is that what you're doing on the night of New Year's Eve? Were you passing along information to Officers Shanahan and Powell?
Don't get nervous, bud. Come on. Come on. Come through.
Remembering you're under oath.
No. I was home all night.
What?
Forgive me, I'm confused here.
The
Previously,
fuck?
you stated pretty clearly that you were actually at the 168th Street subway station being beaten when Hector Ayala intervened to save your life.
Objection.
With great risk put himself in harm's way, didn't he?
Isn't that true? Counsel, stand down.
Damn it.
Withdraw the witness, Your Honor.
Mr. Torres, you are dismissed.
Probably knew if he got out of here on any level, they were probably going to just track him down all over again and kill him.
Luca, this is what you owe Victor.
1.8. I like the sound of that.
Are you out of your mind?
Maybe next time you should hire guys who know how to jack
Maybe
a
you
truck.
shouldn't hire a bunch of trigger-happy assholes.
Enough. You're proving my point.
All this arguing, bloodshed, chaos, it's getting in the way.
Yeah, I got a better idea. How about I pay $0 to Victor, and you go tell Fisk if he's got something to say to me, he can come tell me himself. I don't take orders from the mayor's errand boy.
I don't work for the mayor. I work for the man.
So he was fine when we prepped him. He's an annoying
I don't know if this is going to work at all, but man.
So what the hell happened?
Maybe the cops got to him, or they threatened his kid.
Or he was never on our side in the first place.
So what do we have without Nikki?
We put him on the stand. He tells his side of the story, and we hope the jury see him the way we do.
Damn.
It's our only move.
We're gonna need a lot more bourbon.
It's the only move you're left with at the moment, it seems like. Just hope you can win on the good faith.
What you're trying to do, it's not going to work.
Counseling?
Tell me.
I sent Buck to Luca to tell him to pay Victor 1.8 restitution for the hijacking.
Let's not fall into a place where I don't trust you.
I don't like watching everything fall apart.
I respect that. You wanted to keep the peace. Sometimes peace needs to be broken. Chaos must reign to build a stronger order.
Is that what it is? Chaos before a stronger peace? Or is it my penance for what I did?
No.
You're punishing me for Adam.
I'm not punishing you for anything.
You're leaving me out in the cold.
Oh no. This divide's getting even bigger.
Thank you for your patience. Where were we?
I don't think he is, but he also is taking his frustrations out on someone or something that we haven't gotten to see yet.
Would you mind walking us through what happened that night?
I bought some flowers at La Bodega, and I was heading down to the station. My wife and I, we live with my sister and my niece. Soledad and I, we've always dreamt of having our own place. I put a deposit down on a studio in the South Bronx.
Oh.
It's not much, but it's ours. I was going there to put the flowers there for the next day.
Because you wanted to surprise your wife. So, you're heading into the station. What happens next?
I heard yelling. Sounded like someone was in trouble, so I ran down.
What did you see?
A man getting beat up.
Did you know the man?
No, and I never saw him again until yesterday in court. And now I know his name is Nikki Torres.
What about the men who were doing the beating? Did you know them?
No.
Did you know they were police officers?
No, I yelled at them to stop, and they didn't. I tried to break it up, then they started beating on me, and I tried to fight them off, and then all of a sudden one of them slipped and fell into the tracks.
Decided to risk your own safety to help a stranger. Wasn't the first time, was it?
Oh, are we gonna bring it up?
I don't understand.
Well, I'm just saying that you put yourself in harm's way before. Many times. The question is...
Oh, shit.
Why?
Because he was in trouble.
He's gonna leverage his identity.
Matt, don't do this.
Mr. Ayala, yes or no? Are you the vigilante known as the White Tiger?
Objection! Objection, Your Honor.
Yes or no?
This order in my court.
That's a move. I mean, that can leverage the public, at least the jury itself. But he did just out him.
I sat in that very spot, and you misled me. You made representations to me. You conned me into suppressing this information. You lectured me about what's right and wrong. You blew open this door, Mr. Murdock, which means...
Yeah, it's open season on my client. I get it.
It wasn't your secret to tell.
Just trying to keep you out of prison, buddy. You know, Hector, if you are acquitted, your White Tiger days are over.
I don't think you understand. Being the White Tiger is more than just putting on a suit. It's who I am. It's a calling. I didn't choose it. He chose me. Might as well ask me to stop breathing.
This is so rehabilitative for him, I think. I think he needs to hear something like this.
There are other ways to help, other ways to contribute, ways that don't require a mask. And for what it's worth, I think you might be surprised at how much you don't miss being him.
He's also making really good points, man.
We had just dropped our son off at a game. We were driving home, and this SUV, it runs a stop sign, and it just plows right into us. Engine caught on fire. I thought for sure we were dead, until all of a sudden I see someone running toward us. It was White Tiger.
A few weeks ago, I was leaving work. It was late, and I have to cut to this alley to get home. This guy, he tries to grab me. I screamed, but then I saw he had a knife. I was so scared. If White Tiger hadn't been there, I don't know what would have happened.
And now, let's hear from a more objective party. This is a police report filed by Officer Lucas Barlow. I responded to an attempted burglary call. The suspect was hiding in an alley, and before I could draw my weapon, he attacked me without provocation. And then White Tiger appeared, pulled the suspect off me, then helped me subdue and arrest the suspect.
More police reports. Officer Reyes, Officer Wong, Officer Morales, Officer Grant. All of these tell a different version of the same story. And it isn't the story of a man who has a vendetta against the police. I think many of the people in this room would consider White Tiger to be an ally. Mr. Ayala, let's talk about Mr. and Mrs. Burgos. Why would you risk your life by running toward a burning car to save strangers?
It's the right thing to do.
What about Gianna Moreno? You again put yourself in harm's way. Why?
It's the right thing to do.
And when you saw Officer Barlow was in trouble, you ran in when others would have run out.
It's the right thing to do.
Who said Hector attacked
Let's
him?
go.
That he came out of nowhere. That's what they said. Why would he do this without the amulet? Would any of you walk into battle with one arm tied behind your back? I wouldn't. Every night.
It's a good one, man.
Hector Ayala goes out.
This might be working.
Risks his life to keep his neighborhood safe, to protect his community. He is a man of integrity. The community says so. The police say so.
That they do.
Mask doesn't make the man. And whether Hector Ayala is wearing a White Tiger suit or not, he's a hero.
You know, every morning I get up, I kiss my wife, I call my kids, I go to work to serve the people of this great city, I go to church every Sunday. Does that make me a good person? That was a trick question. Frankly, it's a false premise. Good people can do bad things. Bad people can do good things. Humans.
I see what he's
All
doing.
of us, we're capable of good, capable of evil. Yes, Hector Ayala might have done some good things. Does that make him incapable of doing a bad thing? Of course not. Do you know what happens to a person when they get hit by a train? When you have 200,000 pounds
Oh my
of
God,
steel
you
slammed
piece of
into
shit.
you, all of your bones break. You don't actually die until they back the train up, and then your body, it just bursts. And that is exactly what happened to Officer Shanahan when Hector Ayala pushed him in front of that train. But we're supposed to be okay with that, right? Because he's done some nice things for people. These men and women you see sitting here, every single day, these brave men and women show up to serve the people of this city, to serve you, to serve me. And they do all that without a mask.
Wow.
If Hector's sole intent was to do good for his community, why is he
Not a
hiding?
traditional one.
Because the last time I checked, real heroes don't need to hide.
It's really just going to be up to the opinions of the people at this point. Unless something comes out of fuck all nowhere at the moment. This whole episode has been this court, just this hearing. But also, it's almost talking about Matt. He's done a bunch of good things, but then he's capable of doing a bad thing, and that's what he views that action when he crossed the line, because that speaks to the fact that he, almost in a way, he proves their point. That doesn't make it true about Hector, because we know it's not. It's almost as if Matt is on trial as well, without actually being.
The jury reached a verdict.
We have, Your Honor.
All right, man.
Please rise.
Moment of truth. Let's go.
In the matter of the people versus Hector Ayala,
On the count of murder in the first degree, the jury finds the defendant not guilty.
Let's go. Oh,
the jury finds the defendant not guilty.
Let's fucking go.
In the first degree, the jury finds the defendant not guilty.
Let's fucking go. Yes. Oh yeah, you guys are pissed. I hope they don't retaliate though. I'm so scared though that they might win the case, but
We're grateful that justice was served, everyone. There's no further comment at this stage. Thank you.
I'm so scared something might actually happen to him out here, that, like now that he's actually out.
Daniel.
Yes, sir.
Or
your friend, the journalist BB.
All due respect, sir, we have people at the Times.
Tell her I want to see her again.
He didn't like that they won that case. What's his play? What's his angle?
See, my old partner and I, straight out of law school, we were so broke. We pulled about everything we had together for an office bottle of Melvin's. Only broke it open when we won. Needless to say, the first bottle lasted a very long time. Nice little reminder that once in a while, the system works.
You're talking about your friend, Foggy Nelson, right? Kind of wondering when you would.
It's not easy. He certainly knew how to enjoy the good moments when they came.
Yeah.
Well then.
That's our Fog, man.
Here's to a man who cooks. A well-won case. And Foggy Nelson. May God hold them all in the hollow of his hand.
The Ayala verdict is an absolute miscarriage of justice.
Court and a jury found him not guilty.
Courts fail, juries get it wrong. I should know. And now, a masked vigilante, a murderer, is allowed to roam the streets, and a veteran of the NYPD lies dead.
Oh. And he's not stopping either.
These vigilantes are a threat to any society that's based on the rule of law. A man who
Or maybe he's just putting it on one more time for himself.
is a coward.
No, he's going out.
These vigilantes, they are not heroes.
Something's gonna happen to him this time, though.
I ran on a promise, and the acquittal of Hector Ayala demands that I keep it. The rule of law must prevail.
Wow. Oh, wait. What? Huh. What the fuck? That pisses me off. And it was coming. Like the Foggy thing, we knew it was coming. And it just doesn't, when it happens though, because we know how good both of these people were. Like we as the viewer got to see that light that they brought into the world and the good that they tried to do. It sucks. Sucks so much. Just watching him run off and get ready to go do his thing, go patrolling, and somebody was just waiting for him, watching him, and just, that's one of the scariest things to me in a way. And I think like as a, you know, I think like especially when you're watching it, maybe not scariest but saddest to me is that, you know, he was just like his day's just going, and then his just lights are gone. This blink and he's done. I think that is also just so equally sad because he is this bright light that just got snuffed out like it was nothing. Fucking nothing like that. That pisses me off so much. Well, I think the immediate gut reaction there was to make us go, oh, what the fuck, Frank? If we just relax for just a second. If I just relax for just a second and rewind quite literally 15 to 20 seconds, Fisk quite literally just said that, you know, this is an affront to justice, the justice system, and that sometimes, you know, despite what Matt is trying to do here, because I love that they're, again, on two different sides of this coin, where he sees justice actually won and the system worked. Fisk is, of course, spinning this as a failure of the system, that sometimes juries get it wrong when it's, especially when there's no like hard evidence, and this is a case of opinion really at the end of the day, because it's a he said, she said. There's no real evidence, no body cam footage, no physical evidence outside of the body itself. Like the events that led to that death are just a matter of conversation. And that's why they're painting all of this on this, on Hector Ayala's character, his history as White Tiger. Then of course that comes back to what Fisk was saying here, is that, and hell, what the actual opposing legal counsel was saying as well, is that sometimes, just because somebody does a great thing doesn't mean they're incapable of great evil. Matt is a good example of that. He knows that firsthand. Even if his victim didn't die, he intentionally did that. However, unfortunately, in this instance, it doesn't apply to Hector. It was a freak accident, and that's all it was. As much as this trial is about Hector, it's also about Matt thematically. Like all the talk, the rhetoric, whether it's from Hector or his opponent, it's all basically painting a picture of Matt. He could be out there doing good. He could be out there helping because it's the right thing to do. But because of that fear of crossing that line again, because he did, he's not. So he's only really taken a step back. And like you said, from his point of view, the system worked this one time until it didn't at the end. And is he going to sit back? Or is that going to be the ignition to get him back in the suit and back on the field? Because rewinding again to the Fisk conversation that he was having there with BB when he's giving that interview, he's like, hey, sometimes juries get it wrong. I know that as well as anybody. He's putting that narrative out there. Whether that narrative informed the real Punisher, which I find highly unlikely, I think more than likely it's either that these dirty cops that we see brandishing the Punisher logo either are working with Fisk, though they see themselves as vigilantes and maybe even higher than justice. I don't know if that is the case. So Fisk is likely putting this out into the world via BB so that gets out there. He sends out this earworm, this almost call to action. And I would not be shocked if that was the guy that was testifying, the partner of the one that got killed, brandishing that, skull painted body armor out there. And the identity was purposefully hidden. Could have been for the tease, or again, to hide the identity of the killer, to kind of paint us with this momentary conflict of doubt about whether or not Frank could have been manipulated by the conversation at large. I don't know if Frank would have, if that would have been enough to call the actual Punisher their way. So I think this is retaliation, considering we know that they weren't the only two that were equipped with that brand. And this might be them correcting what the system failed to do from their point of view. I hope that's what brings Frank into the picture. Hell, what if they spin it as the Punisher did this and he's like, fuck no, I didn't. And that's what brings him into the conversation to round out this part of the story. So I'm wondering where that's going to go, because I think that's what Fisk did. I don't think and this is again him riding the line of how involved he can be. He blackmailed the commissioner, and while he didn't send one of his own guys, presumably, to go do the deed, he put that out into the world, a world in which he knew would react in a specific way, because he's trying to convince Vanessa there's an element of controlled chaos going on here, while she liked her order, which is a whole other thing going on between them. This whole imbalance in their relationship, this disconnect that happened when he left. She's found solace in actually making it stable, earning their trust, and now because she has to do this thing for him, for the public image, that's all falling apart because she's not there to management. They're not respecting the middleman. He's like, yeah, that's fine, let it happen. But she sees this as this is this just punishment for me, breaking faith and what I did with Adam? And again, we don't have a clear answer where that blood on his knuckles came from, and I'm almost 95 to 99% confident that that's probably Adam's blood. As much as he's trying to change or pretend that he's changed, him and Matt are both being pulled back to their former lives, slowly but surely. It's inevitable. Coming back to the court case, I like that when you're listening to what everything's about, if you remove the other names from the case, you can make an argument this is a discussion of what what Matt's been doing with his life. All the good stories, the bad ones as well, but then the desire to help just purely because if you have the ability to, you should at least try. But he's still just carrying around that guilt because the one time he just had his bad day. Going back to the conversation he had with Frank, while he's not out there going around punishing everybody in this way, he did, cross that line. He said he doesn't kill. That's a thing he doesn't do. He believes in the redemption, no matter how small. But as Frank said, you're just one bad day from becoming me. And while he didn't necessarily become him, and I think that's what he's afraid of, because it's always been the fight with Matt and his inner devil, is that he's always afraid of giving into it too much and not being able to actually come back from the ledge. And the one time he did, again, we talked about this a little bit, is that fate spared him that death being on his conscience, but the fact that he still tried still weighs heavy on him. But yeah, Fisk is, I don't think he knows this is this. I'm wondering if this has anything to do with him also trying to bait Matt back into the suit. Again, I want to go back to I hope we get an explanation as to how him and Dex got out of their predicament at the end of season 3, because that is still very much so just left unexplained. But, they had a truce then, and now they've almost kind of re-upped a new truce now in the present day. They're getting themselves in this weird little promised loophole fucking pretzel that they're in the middle of, and it's just seeing who's going to cross the line first, or at least who's going to get caught crossing the line first. I think some of the things that Fisk has done up until this point, qualify as crossing the line, but they're not publicly known. Matt doesn't know about it, but I think it won't be long before that happens. But damn it, man. I like that this whole thing was this trial, because, this definitely feels like this is a remnant of what came before the original plan, where they talked about Matt was probably not going to be in the suit for a couple of episodes in the beginning. I can't remember exactly how long. And there was this plan about focusing on, Matt, what he's going through, the legal system and stuff like that through these other heroes. And I feel like a lot of that is probably this. And at the pace we're going on, I would be surprised if Matt's not in the suit in the next episode or by the end of it. I'm the type of person that can appreciate a slow burn, because I'm sure there's going to be a lot of people that think this episode was filler, thought it was boring. And boring I could kind of understand, but I found it really interesting and engaging. I love this exploration of character, this philosophical debate that is going on in the courtroom, because it's both about Hector and his victim as it is about Matt and his demons as well, and about whether or not he should put on the mask, if it's really the right choice for him to deny that part of himself. I liked all of that a lot, but it definitely leaves us in a very, very precarious situation, and I'm excited to see what happens in the next episode, that's for sure. Because I have to imagine, because we know Frank's coming, and this would make the most sense if somebody's walking around brandishing not just tattoos, but actually going out and cosplaying as him. I mean, that could be what gets Frank to come out of the woodwork and get involved with this story, is to kind of be like, hey, that wasn't me. That fucker is going down. Or, coming back to this as well, if Fisk did know and this was plotted, it would be like two birds with one stone. He would be besmirching the vigilantes themselves by having the public think one of the vigilantes killed one of the other vigilantes. If the public thinks the Punisher killed White Tiger, that'll just help his case. He's down a vigilante, and one of them took one of their own out, a beloved one at that. It's just an interesting chess game that's being played right now. And it's funny because not all of the players are aware they're playing a game at the moment. So I can't wait to see what happens after this. I think this is going to be a turning point for the season so far, and I can't wait to see what happens next. But that's all I got for right now, guys. I'm going to go ahead and pass it off to you. Sound off the comments. Let me know your thoughts down below. We're carrying the conversation after the video. Hope you enjoyed the reaction. If you did, leave a like, drop a comment, subscribe if you're not already. Remember, if you want to see the full reaction, as always, you can check it out over on Patreon, or if you're a member of the channel, get you access as well. And speaking of before we go, I want to shout out our channel legends: Manny Sherritt, Your Record Scott, Robert Onguionu, Jeffrey L, Jake Control, Eric Official, Casey Wood, Russell Crockett, Watchtower. Thank you guys so much for continued support. But that's it for the video, guys, and I'll see you all in the next one. Take care, everybody.